Warning! This podcast contains Zumba. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for iZombie, Season 3, Episode 3, Eat, Pray, Live. With me are my hosts, Nikki and Kim.
Namaste.
So
I really didn't see the difference between Zumba Brain and freaking crazy ass Yoga Brain this episode.
What? They were extremely
honestly
different.
Like, we didn't get the whole... I mean, we got some small parts of Liv, but I feel like she wasn't, like, really the main focus of this episode.
Yeah,
so
I'm
we didn't get her
that.
as much.
Yeah, I like that. I like when they take the focus off of Liv. Not that I don't like Liv. She's a fantastic character, but she's the main character. We could explore some other characters a little bit more, you know? So
Major Lillywhite.
Lillywhite. Yeah, watching him with the paintball training was absolutely fantastic. Took him 3 tries to do it, but you know, he finally nailed it.
We can assume there was many other times in between those 3 times that we saw as well.
I'm sure there were.
Yeah.
Makes me worry about this whole, like, I know, like, he's got this whole thing where he thinks he's dying. So he's kind of, like, getting serious.
Well, we saw him on the brain tubes. The really icky, yummy, wonderful brain tubes.
I am never eating yogurt tubes ever again. You know, those Yoplait yogurt tubes that you get, and, you know, I'm never having one of those ever again.
Never?
No, that is, like, never. I don't like yogurt that much anyways, but that was, like, the only way I'd eat them before. Now I'm done. No more yogurt for me. Bye. Later, Gator.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but as Kim said, the Major is dying. He's like coughing and wheezing and fluid building up in his lungs and all kind of thing. And Ravi gave him a week to live. So I'm sitting here going, as soon as he nailed the paintball training the 3rd time, and like when I say nailed it, I mean he fucking nailed it. Like you could not perform any better than what he did there. It seemed like he outperformed what the top Marines were doing. Like it just seemed over the top. And now, if he has to take the cure, and the memory thing doesn't work, what's that going to do for his training?
He'll start all over.
I think, okay, the way that the memory loss works is that, yeah, they lose memories, as in, like, what they've experienced in their lifetime, as far as, like, you know, people's faces, names, numbers, that kind of stuff. When it comes to, like, the physical manifestations, like your muscle memories and stuff, I think it's not going to take long for it to settle back in. Kind of like with Blaine, I think they're kind of showing that, like, Blaine he's a classical musician, he's always been, but you've never really seen that side of him. It's always been, you know, I'm reeling and dealing, and there's drugs and dead bodies and brains and stuff. That always took the forefront, but we have known that Blaine played the piano classically. And in the last few episodes, you've seen him just singing and stuff. All that's slowly coming back to him. It's not like he's learning it again. It's just coming back.
I think it becomes like almost, it's not, I wouldn't call it muscle memory, but
No.
it's kind of the same thought process, is that though you're losing your, like, you lost, like, you know, it's kind of, I wouldn't call it selective memory because it's not. It's as if you learned something, so it's almost like embedded in more than just your brain, like it's subconsciously. So you're only having your basic memory be lost.
It's
your
kind of
skills are still, like, there. I don't know.
It's kind of like, I remember when my grandpa, he had Alzheimer's, but he was he tinkered a lot. He used to make jewelry and all that. He never lost that, until he couldn't actually do it anymore because his body was just dying, because everything is dying at that point because your brain's going. But up to that point, he could still he could make that jewelry. It was beautiful, it's handcraft. You could tell. It was like he never lost it. But he couldn't remember who his wife was. He couldn't remember his oldest daughter. It's things like that. This memory loss that is to connect to the cure is kind of working in the same way as Alzheimer's. That's how I'm relating it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we see with this episode too, Blaine doesn't even remember his own father, right? So we kind of said this was going to be the test, right? We said this last week when Blaine sees his father, if he hesitates, we know he's faking.
He did not even for a second.
Not even 1 second came to, like, you had two people show up to talk about the will. One is the lawyer, one's the father. He does not know it's the father until Peyton comes down, right? And Peyton's like, this is your father. And he's just, like, completely numb. He's just like, oh, well, let's sign this paperwork here because that makes the will null and void. It's just money, who cares? Right? So we know that's already uncharacteristic of Blaine.
Yep.
And then we had him being like, well, I don't know what we do as father and son, but we should probably go do some of that. And the father was just like, I don't like you. And he told like a whole story of why he hated his son. I
really felt bad for Blaine.
Yeah.
Like this episode. I really did. I mean, being reminded that he's this piece of shit, right, basically. And he's like, wow, I'm not happy with this. I don't want to be told that I was such a piece of crap.
And it's not even just like one person telling him this. He's got everybody backing up the stories and being like, yeah, you were a dickhole. And, when it comes around, he's just like, you know what? I want to be the good guy. I kind of want to take that risk and show everybody that I'm not what everyone's painting me to be right now because of my past. This whole memory thing is losing his memory thing was like a whole new, like, fresh start. But like to bring him, like, to be like, yeah, I want my memories back because I want to do this for Major, make sure it works. It's gonna be a whole big. Wow.
I felt bad with him that like I didn't like honestly because there's a few things that Ravi did this episode.
Oh God,
that upset me. Like seriously upset me. I'm like, Ravi, you kind of being a piece of crap.
Like what? What did Ravi do? Name one thing Ravi did wrong.
The whole scene with Blaine for one. Mm-hmm. I mean, I got what he was coming from. I understood where he was coming from, but then the whole first scene with him and Peyton, when he was he was come to apologize, and then it was like, you were trying to be friends with, all of your shit is all your brain, and you've been taking out all of this bullshit on Peyton. You're a piece of shit when it comes to that.
Well, Peyton was like, what do you expect? Did you come here expecting me to apologize? She goes, right. You should be apologizing.
It wasn't Peyton's fault. Right. Peyton did nothing wrong. It was 100% Ravi. And then that whole big scene between Ravi and when he's going after Blaine again was Ravi's bullshit. Just like, okay.
But at least Ravi manned up and told why. Like at least it wasn't one of those let's drag it out and I'm just a dick because I'm a dick kind of thing. Like, no, I give him that much credit. I give him that much.
And then it's fuck up the end.
Yeah. See, the whole scene with Blaine, he was just like, you know what? I'm being such a bitch right now because I love you. Well, you could have done it in a different way. You're still being the big bitch. You definitely could have went another way around that and said, I love you. And, done your job instead of been a dick. Mm-hmm. Like, this whole episode, I was like, you know how I feel about Peyton. You guys know. I don't like her.
You love Peyton.
I don't like her.
Who do you hate more? Who do you hate more?
I was on
do you hate
Peyton's side this episode.
Do you hate Peyton or Katie Cups?
I don't know enough about Kate. I don't know enough about her yet. I mean, initially she seems like a real pompous asshole, but I don't know enough about her yet to actually.
Well, she's trouncing around Ravi's apartment in her underwear, so.
That's all Ravi.
That's all Ravi. Yeah, that was Ravi's flubber. But I was on the hate train for Peyton at first. First season, did not like her. She was a tool. She was a useless
Right.
character, and it was no point. As it went on, her character began to develop. She wasn't as bad. It was like, okay, fine. I don't have a problem with her anymore. I felt she was completely in this whole episode,
Yeah.
and I kind of really like the Blaine Peyton like.
I
thing.
like the relationship they have now with Blaine without his memory because it's genuine. It's not him using her for anything or her using him for anything. Because before, when he had his memory, he was using her for protection and she was using him for information. So it was like that. But now
he still liked her though. It was still there's still some genuineness in there, but now it's pure. It's pure. It's not
exactly.
Yeah. And it's far cuter now.
It's way cuter. And even though Blaine is, before he was kind of like a snark, he still is a snarky ass, but it's much cuter now. He's not a dick about
I'm team Blaine.
I am.
I'm team Blaine right now.
I'm like in the blatant pairing.
Yeah, blatant, yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, blatant. Oh, and can I talk about the cuteness of Major at the end scene with Liv? That was so cute. He had this they really haven't shown they showed him friendship, but this is the first time they've shown he literally showed that he was still in love with Liv in that scene.
Yeah,
and
a lot of it has to do with him feeling like he's dying too, because before that whole scene, he was coughing his brains out.
It's not just that. There needs to be some conflict before he loses his memories. It's like, oh, he's in love with Liv again, and it's gonna stir up. Oh, Liv's gonna fall in love with him again, and then all of a sudden he's gonna wipe his memory, and then he's not gonna care about her anymore. And then Liv's gonna get stuck I Major. Oh, why can't you? We're in love. No, we're not. I don't even know who you are. We know we're getting to that point.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's so sad. 'Cause I feel bad for Liv. I mean, it's just been one craptastic relationship wise. I mean, she walked away from him the first time.
Yeah.
Then they tried to they did some stuff, and then it was then he got turned into a zombie, and then she cured him. Well, she thought she cured him,
and then he got pissed off at her.
Yeah, and he was mad at her, and then she gets up with another oh my god, I can't think of his name, and he gets shot in the head by Blaine.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
And then she killed her last boyfriend.
Yeah, and then she killed the last one, yeah.
So, yeah, she's having all the luck. All the luck. So, you know that's where that's heading, and we're left with the cure that Blaine takes here, and it's just or the, not cure, but the memory, fix or whatever, and it's it could take up to a week. And guess what? That's the amount of time that Major has before he has to take the cure. So
yeah,
I feel like we're not going to get an answer, or it's going to seem it's progressing in that, and then it may deteriorate again. It may not be a permanent thing. So yeah, I don't feel like it's going to work.
I feel like if it does work, and he becomes human again, and working with the zombies right now. Working with Fillmore Graves.
Yeah,
they're gonna find out about this cure and they're gonna want to eradicate it because they say it's not world domination. They want to assimilate. They want to become with the culture. Just blend in. No. You want world domination. This is definitely where this is going. It's not why would you have done what you did at that party if it wasn't for world domination and taking over Max Rager and
zombie apocalypse?
Yes, they say they don't, but
this version of zombie apocalypse, but they still want the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. So I'm feeling they're gonna feel threatened by the cure, and something's gonna happen with Major Ravi, because of they're in,
Yeah, and speaking of Fillmore Graves, Brian says, who makes the process to brains and how exactly they work without the visions and the mood swings. So Fillmore Graves is producing them, and what they're doing is they're basically taking a large amount of brains and they're mashing them up think mashed potatoes or yogurt or something, and they're literally turning them into mush.
Please don't ruin mashed potatoes for me. Really?
No.
Yes, that is so I don't like yogurt, and it when he squeezed it, and it was just I'm just like.
So what they're doing is they're mixing all these brains. So you may have like 50 brains mixed into one mashed potato vat of brains. And yes, I'm
He's
doing
doing that on
it.
purpose.
I'm doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
He's a
And
jerk.
yeah, maybe. Just
I'm just gonna
possibly.
go upstairs and grab the whole extra leftover from Easter mashed potatoes and just start eating it on stream
Yeah, eat your
while we do
brains.
this.
And because they're mixed with so many different people, the brains, it can't pinpoint a mood or collective memories associated with them because there's it's too diluted amongst the 50.
There's just
So it's
there's
just
too many brains.
so it's nothing.
And
You get nothing out of it other
Yep.
than zombie brain sustenance. That's it.
And I'm pretty sure they mix it with other things too, just to. I mean, Major didn't like the consistency. You could tell as soon as he put it in his mouth, but I don't know. Maybe they flavor it up with like mocha or something.
Well,
Who knows?
that's why him and his buddy from training left and go ate Zumba brains, right? And then they went and played Dance Dance Revolution.
Yep.
Back at Major's house, and that's when Liv walks in. That's just
They were
like,
so
oh my
happy. It was
God.
awesome. I love that. That was the cutest scene.
I loved that scene, and I want to see more of this other guy. Like him and Major just seem to mesh really well.
Yeah. New love interest for Major?
Whatever.
No.
You don't know when he loses his memories? You don't know what may happen.
Yeah, I mean that's a good
guess.
point. That's a good point. See, like I don't care. I mean, if it happens, it happens as long as it's meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
And I can actually watch it on TV and enjoy it. If it's just like it just happened and
Just
writers
some
like
stupid thing.
yeah, like if
Gotta-
they just
you gotta
shoved
have
it
some
in together,
substance.
like they use some Elmer's glue on it or something instead of crazy glue. And it's like
Just like it's not like shove it together just to shove together kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
gotta be, it's gotta have some substance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And then watching Liv join in. I don't need Zumba Brain to
kick your
dance or
asses.
whatever. Yeah, to kick your ass. That was great.
Yeah.
The whole reason why Liv didn't take the Zumba Brain is because she was still on the Zen brain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we had that whole thing, and that seems so insignificant compared to the rest of the episode. What was going on there.
I think it
But
was
I
more
felt
of
it was
the
meaningful. Like I don't know, it's weird.
because her and Clive got to do some actual bonding. Like he knew exactly what was happening with the brain, so you could tell he seemed more loose. He was opening up to her. He was they were actually a partner. It wasn't like, oh, come along with me and have some visions. It was like they were actually working together on the case.
Go,
Except they were
go
arguing.
eat.
Yeah.
And
Just go eat.
Yeah.
Sift. Apparently,
Okay.
he's her imp.
Yeah.
The scene where she did eat, where she made a fucking mocha latte or something out of the.
Yeah.
She's like, oh wait, no, sorry, Robbie, it's the wrong one. And Robbie's just
I
like,
even
Robbie
like
cheese.
caramel.
Robbie was just so horrified that he almost drank brain.
Yeah, he totally lost his appetite. He didn't even want to drink the one that.
Usually he's fine. He's usually just eating a bag of potato chips while she's cooking and stuff. But no, not that time.
Nope. No,
When
'cause
it's
it was
this
on
close.
Him. Yeah, it was on
Yeah,
him.
it was too close to him eating it himself. He's like, ooh.
B, would you try human brains?
No, man.
If you sat down to dinner with Hannibal Lecter, you wouldn't try any? No.
He'd have to be holding the gun to my head.
Where the skull's open.
That's why I asked. Because I know you love that movie.
I don't know. It's weird fascination with serial killers.
It's how their brains tick. That's why I'm watching Dexter right now. Like when I have my spare
Dexter.
time. Yeah, I love that show.
You know what other is good movie is Mr. Brooks. Watch that.
Never heard of it. Anyway, for the yoga murder, we deal with some lady named Ladybird. That's actual her legal name.
Mm-hmm.
It was on her ID. And Clive's reaction, Miss, this is a murder investigation. She holds up her ID, and he's just like,
For a moment there,
Oh.
I thought it was like a police official like laminate or something. I was like, wait a second, but it was just photo ID.
Yeah.
I was like thinking, oh, maybe they're working in the same department. He's never seen her before. She's new to the city or something. But no. I thought way too deep into it.
Yeah. And you got to give Clive credit here because after talking to the homeless man, taking the bottle away and all that, he goes and he jumps in the seafood dumpster.
I would vomit.
Yeah. I mean, I
Everywhere.
like seafood, but I'd never go into the
Projectile.
dumpster. No.
I literally cannot be in the vicinity of the smell of seafood without wanting to throw up.
Yeah.
We went to the Asian market and we went to the
that's a
back
wonderful
Asian
place.
market, and it was just I got sick within 5 minutes of being in the area. I was
That's how I get around garbage.
Yeah.
So
That's
you put
super
me
potent.
near a seafood dumpster on top of it. Oh, forget it.
I would have been
Forget it.
chunks.
Projectile.
I like his reasoning though, because he's like, I hated the badges when they made me do it when I was just
Yeah, you
a
gotta give
little-
him credit for that. Gotta
Yeah.
give him credit. As much as he didn't want to do it, he didn't want to make anybody else do it. So, but he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go shower. You go eat. And he, like the way he said it, it's like, go get those brains. You know, he knew exactly.
That's what I mean. Like their
Yeah.
dynamic now is so much better because there's no secrets anymore.
Mhm.
It's not him just looking at her weird. Like, no,
Yep.
it's him looking at her weird with knowing why he's looking at her weird.
Yep. But it ends up being the homeless man, aka Mitch, posing as a homeless man. I don't know. Like, I didn't see it coming, but at the same time, I didn't care. Like, this is the first time, like, I really just did not care about the murder case at all. I
Nope.
was more interested
No.
in everything else that was going on. So,
It really wasn't the focus at all. I mean, it was part. I mean, it was a big like section of it, but it wasn't like I don't know how to describe it. Like the feeling, I guess is the word, was not the focus. Was not there. All of like the little bits and pieces and all the other side stuff had more feeling and
More
more
impact.
more impact into what was going on in the story itself. I don't know. It's because obviously we now have very hard like strong connections to these characters and love for them and certain things they do. So that's why all of that was far more important than just this little like whatever is going on in the middle. Like
Yeah, I mean, I think more importantly, it didn't matter what the case was that Clive and Liv were working on. It was their relationship and how it was growing. It was showing you how it's growing, and then everything else. It was Major and Blaine and Peyton. Like that was like, and I'm not even including Robbie because he just pissed me off this episode. But yeah, it was focusing on those two storylines rather than Liv and her case with Clive. I think, yeah, they really wanted to just be like, okay, this is what's happening in the background and bring it forward. So, I mean, Major's obviously a big turning point is going to happen with him very, very soon, probably next episode. Blaine also, after taking the cure for his memory, it's going to happen really fucking soon if it's going to happen. So they're building that up is what they're doing. Pretty sure.
Like Robbie, I love you. I love your character.
Mhm.
Love you as an actor, but this episode you were a piece of crap.
He's so insecure. That's the main
Oh, yeah.
problem.
He is. And you got the best of you this episode.
Hmm. In more than one fucking way.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry,
scratching
my
post.
my mic was muted. My favorite part of this episode was Blaine's dad and Donnie, making their secret zombie club.
That was
Try
interesting.
again.
Yeah, the
Try
scratching
again.
post, as Omi said,
That
absolutely
was a good
fantastic.
name.
I love
good
the
name.
idea of putting the nail through the guy's hand before he entered. I thought that was great. They should do that.
Oh man.
But
I mean,
instead
They
switched
settled
to
on the pepper.
The ghost pepper.
The pepper
yeah.
was good. Yeah, the ghost pepper
Yeah.
was good.
Yep.
I mean, only zombies are going to be able to handle the spice of a ghost pepper. If it's a human, they're going to fucking die on the floor right there from suffocation.
It's not gonna die, but it's gonna be a little.
I've seen people almost fucking die from eating a ghost pepper because
That's people that don't normally eat peppers. They don't normally
even
eat hot
people
food.
even people eat spicy food. The ghost pepper hits them so hard that they stop breathing.
No, see, I went to Buffalo Wild Wings down in Tampa when it was after they were discontinued in this area. They still had them in Tampa, and I was down
The
there.
ghost pepper.
Yeah, the ghost pepper
ones.
sauce. And I went down there and I ate it, and yeah, it was hot, but it didn't like make me run around the room and get water and sweat. I didn't sweat at all. Like there was
But
none
was
of
that
that.
Or was that the actual pepper? No, it was in a sauce.
Yeah, still.
It's
Yeah,
kind
the
of
sauce is a
but,
little.
but there
yeah,
were
the
other
sauce is a little
people.
different than.
There were other people at the table that ate it and ran. Like got up from the table and ran and went to the bathroom, and they're running water and they're coming back and they're scraping their tongue with paper towels. Like, you know,
It will.
so
It will depend on your tolerance. It
yeah.
will depend on how
Yeah.
often you eat spicy food. Because the more spicy food you eat, the more higher your tolerance is going to be.
It's just like
But
drinking
still-
alcohol.
Still not going to be the tolerance of a zombie.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But side note, you go to Buffalo Wild Wings now, you order the blazing sauce and the ghost pepper is in that. It's by default. It's now permanently on the menu. So
Yep.
if you want to know a similar feeling to what it's like to eat a ghost pepper, you can just go have their blazing wing sauce. And
If you
and
want to
experience
pretend to
that.
be a zombie for a while, go ahead. Go
Yeah.
try it.
Yep.
I would work up your tolerance before you go.
No. No.
Zombies are just.
Oh man!
Just
You wanna
have
be a
911 on speed dial.
Yeah.
What is it? I had some like freaking spicy like curry.
Mm,
And it was
curry.
high. I mean, it was some like, and then like if you leave it, like if you like you eat it and then you like put it in the fridge, and as it sits in the fridge, it gets spicier.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened one night. We actually took Buffalo Wild Wings home, and it was the mango habanero. Left it in the fridge overnight, reheated it, and it was 10 times worse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like the dry rub, and then it doesn't. Over time, still gets bad too. Like if it's cold. Oh, when it's cold.
Yeah, even their take-home bottles are hotter than the sauce in the
Yeah.
store. So, but yeah, they have a system planned out for the high-end guys. They have Dino, who's gonna go hunt people and get their brain for the place. That's for the rich people. For the people that are not so high class, they do have an inn with a hospital in Bangladesh that has a high mortality rate that they will
The
get.
highest mortality rate
Yeah.
in the world, apparently.
They'll get weekly shipments of, or did they say daily? I don't remember. Weekly shipments of brains. So, and then Blaine's dad left it off with, "Hey, why don't you go make some new customers? Go down to the clubs, find the people paying $500 for, a bottle of wine, and scratch them, just like the name says, the scratching post. Make your own clients. Then once we're already established, then we'll go steal Blaine's clients." So I'm very interested to see where this is going, and if Blaine does get his memories back. How this is gonna,
There's gonna be a war.
Yeah.
There's going to be a war. And you know what? And I think if Fillmore Graves gets a hold of this and says, "Oh, stop making more. We're going to, we're the only ones who can make more," they're going to get their asses in there too. And they're going to be like, "Nuh-uh." Or they're going to make a partnership. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't trust Fillmore Graves at all.
Yep. Well, not only Fillmore Graves, but you have Caddy Cups, who's really close to figuring the zombie thing out. Right? She comes
I think
down
she's gonna be
into
turned.
the office, maybe, quite possibly. She comes down into the office, into the morgue, starts saying, "Hey, started finding out some victims of airplane crash. The flight left from Seattle. There were brains in the digestive tract, just like the one that she had found. One of the victims was dead before, like weeks before the flight, but she was still there, on the flight that supposedly died in the flight. And then they tied it back to the boat party that Liv was at. So she started asking if anybody from the boat party that Ravi worked on had brains in their digestive tract. Ravi had to deny the whole thing to keep her like off the track, and she's just like, yeah, well, it was a good lead, but you know, Ravi's plan kind of worked. It threw her off the scent a little bit, but she's getting close and getting too close for comfort. So
I don't like her. Just like how she's just like, yeah, I'm here now. I'm not your boss, but I'm here now, and you kind of have to do what I say. Like,
Well-
she comes in with her bag. She's like, oh, well, they wouldn't let me check in. Could you get me a soda? It's like, you just said that you weren't his boss. And then he's like, yes, ma'am. And he walked away and did it. Like, oh my God. Please.
And then
Go away.
She's walking around in his kitchen in her underwear later. So,
Yep.
You know, Ravi is just like, oh, after we left things, I didn't think, you know. No, you didn't think, Ravi. That's the problem.
No.
You didn't think.
No, the dumbest smart person.
The smartest dumb person.
And dumbest smart person.
Yes. Yes. Who, Ravi
At least
or Caddy?
Ravi.
I keep wanting to call her Katie. Like, I can't not call her Caddy. Like, yeah.
Is it? I don't know. I mean, Katie's spelled that way too. I don't really pay attention enough when she's
No,
introduced.
they pronounced it Caddy every time, but
Okay.
like, because I write her name down because I don't want to forget it, and every time I want to pronounce it Katie, so it really gets me aggravated. So, yep. You guys have anything else for this episode?
Not really.
What about Blaine's lovely voice?
I mean, we've heard it before, so it's
I
nothing
feel like
new.
it was better this episode.
I do too. I feel like it was better this episode than it was the last time.
Well, he was performing definitely, so it had to be a little bit better because he was, listed in a venue.
Mm.
So it's like a job for him. So he kind of has to be good.
Yeah, it was better than Walking on the Sun for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, next episode is called "Wag the Tongue Slowly."
What?
Clive's patience is tested when Liv consumes the brain of a murder victim who had the reputation of being the ultimate office gossip.
Oh, God.
I mean,
I love those in unison, B.
we did have her on the vlogger brain with like the social media that was really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think this is gonna get worse because this is gonna be like the.
This is gonna be like Gladys Kravitz from Bewitched, level of gossip. Remember, she's always looking out the window. Abner, do you see what Samantha did? Yeah. Meanwhile, Blaine and Peyton continue to grow closer as they wait to see if Ravi is able to reverse the effects of the cure. Finally, Major is one step away from fulfilling a promise. He's one step away from fulfilling a promise. So.
Play to save Natalie.
Yeah, I think that has to do with Natalie.
Yep. So. I'm almost not looking forward to this episode.
It's going to be
I'm
funny.
afraid she's gonna be blabby. She's gonna be very blabby. So see what she
She's going to
blabs.
talk a lot and really fast. And yeah, I'm probably not going to catch half of what she says. And I'll probably have to watch the episode more than once so I know what she says. Or I can just, yeah. It'll probably be better for me to turn off the sound and put on captions. I'll probably, absorb more of the information that way.
You know how bad it is that now I almost watch everything with captions because I watch so many K-dramas. I'm so used to reading everything now.
Nikki, where can people find you?
On Twitter, eating the drinks. Lady Venom 24, LADY VENOM 24.
What?
That was yesterday. Eating the drink.
Still doing it, guys.
Still eating the
Doing
drink.
it yesterday, doing it today. Because Liv actually ate her drink today.
Sure. Kim, where can people find you?
On the Twitters at HUFFITY, PUFITY. Namaste.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You You can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTVpodcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV show, games, and movies. Until next time.
Bye. Team Blatant.
Blatant.
Team Caddy Cups.
Caddy Cups, get out of here.
Yeah.